And my mantra is I'm stealing it from Glennon Doyle. So I have no credit at all for this mantra. But she wrote in her book, one of her books, she talked about you can do hard things. And I can't remember exactly where it was in the book, but she talks about seeing a sign somewhere that somebody had hanging, like in a classroom, I think it was. And it really struck her. And I thought that really resonated with me because life is hard and for big hards and little hards. And when you are I remember my kids are older now, but when they were little and you didn't know anything about parenting, I remember leaving the hospital with my daughter and thinking they cannot let us leave here. Like, we don't know anything. Do not let us leave here. Just because we have a car seat does not mean we know what we're doing. And I felt like that with the second child. I felt like that with the third child. And then I always felt like every stage, like you just got comfortable, you figured out, when they're babies and toddlers and you feel good there. And then they get to elementary school and it's totally different. So now you're learning something new as a parent. And then they get to middle school and that's like a whole, just open up all the anxieties you could possibly have as a parent. It comes there. And so every stage of parenting, I think I always have felt like saying that over to myself, you can do hard things. And the reason I like to remind myself is because I have done hard things. I have done those. I did make it through. My kids are fine human beings. They're productive citizens of the world. So I have been able to make it through each of those stages that were really hard. And I didn't know what I was doing, but I did it. And so when I'm faced now with really hard, almost insurmountable ideas or situations, I just think, you know what? I can do this because I've done it before and I can do hard things. I'm able, I'm capable. And if I don't know what I'm doing, I can ask people, because I think that has been one of the biggest lessons of being a mom and being an entrepreneur is you can ask for help. And these big, hard things you have to do, you don't have to do them by yourself. You can find other people that are going to support you and help you get through those. So my Glennon Doyle line is my mantra almost daily, maybe multiple times a day. On some days, I might have to say it over and over that I can do hard things. I've done it.
I love it. You mentioned the business, and what I particularly love about Go Girl is that you love to tell stories. Talk to me a little bit about how you how you feel when you help clients tell their story.
Ah, it's like my dream. I've loved storytelling probably since I came out of the womb. I've always loved reading, but I love somebody that can tell me a story, that can just tell it. And one of the reasons that I love what I do with Go Girl is that a lot of times companies, especially, they don't realize that they have a story. Like, they think their story is, we have this product and we want to sell it. That's our story. And there's so much more to why they have that product. There's so much more why they started a business or why they're in it. And I always tell people that, yeah, you have a business because you want to make money. I get that. You would have a hobby if you didn't want to do that, but that's not why you do it. There's other ways you could make money. There's other ways, there's other widgets you could create. Why did you create this one? What is it about that? And so it really, when I help clients tell their story, it really gets at the why of what they do. And for me, the why is where it should begin, because everything else will fill in the blanks. Your what becomes more clear, your how becomes more clear. All those other questions become more clear when you really know what your why is. And when we can help clients kind of get past this, I just have this product and I need to sell it. When we can help them really kind of spend time and dig into what their why is, all of their other things become way more clear and way more fun. Like, suddenly a client that doesn't like to do social media is like, oh, well, I like social media. If I could share this, it's like, there we go. That's all it is. And there's nothing better than everybody has a story to tell. Every person, every business, everyone has a story. There are no boring stories. You have it. And to be able to tell that is just incredibly powerful.
I love that. What is some of your best advice for parents in Chicagoland?
I think my best advice, and again, my kids are older, so I'm going to take everything I have learned for the past 20, almost 26 years as a parent. Uh, but I think my best advice is it's to stay in the moment with your kids and to kind of the noise that you're going to hear. Everybody becomes a parenting expert when you're in a situation. Like the minute you decide, and it starts early. I remember the breastfeeding versus bottle, which is probably still a thing. That was like suddenly everybody had an opinion, everybody was an expert. And what I've learned through all these years is really pay attention to what works for you and your kids. Just get in tune with your children, get in tune with yourself. You know more than you think you know. And I'm a big fan of intuition. So if something tells you that something is wrong or something feels really right, just go with that feeling. Uh, because you can get caught up in the noise and there's no reward at the end. Like nobody's winning parent of the year. I mean, I don't think so. I've never been in the running, so I wouldn't know if there was that award, but nobody's winning that. The best thing, I think all parents at the very basic of who they are, we all want our kids to grow up to be happy, healthy adults. I always add that are functioning citizens of the communities in which they live. I would like them to participate. But I think we all want the same thing for our kids. We might get to it in different ways, but we really do all want the same things. And so you just have to pay attention to yourself and how you feel and what your child really needs at that moment in their life.